Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to continue with our intro to Maya tutorial. In the previous video, we saw how to set our project, how to create a project folder, what the workspace is, how to create primitives, how to move them around, and move the camera. So now we're going to go into modeling a little bit. So let's go ahead and create a cube. Remember, we can move, rotate, and scale our objects. But right now we're moving the whole object. If we want to go more in depth, like just move a part of this cube and not the whole thing, we need to go ahead and select our vertex, for example, or our faces or edges. You do this by holding right click and selecting, dragging the mouse, selecting one of them and releasing. Vertex, basically the points in between the lines, in between the edges, and we can move them one by one. We can also shift and click to select another one. Shift and click to select another one, and shift click another one. To deselect one, you just have to either hold Control, click, or if you have something selected and you hold Shift, it's going to deselect it. So Shift selects and deselects. Control only deselects, and Control plus Shift only selects. So it doesn't matter if I click again here, I'm not gonna deselect it. We can also move edges, which are the lines in between two faces. And finally, we can select the whole face or cube. And same thing, move it around. And in all these cases, we can move them, we can rotate them, and we can scale them. One quick shortcut for move, rotate, and scale that you're going to be using all the time and also select is basically Q, W, E, and R. So Q is a shortcut for select. W is a shortcut for move. E is a shortcut for rotate. And R is a shortcut for scale. You're going to want to remember those because you're going to be using them all the time. It makes things way faster just going back and clicking, back and clicking. If we go here to modeling toolkit, I told you in the previous video that we're going to go a bit more in depth to this part. You're going to see that we have a bunch of shortcuts for affecting different attributes in our objects, in our geometry. And we also have the same thing that we had here: edge, face, vertex, and object mode, which is just selecting the whole thing. We have the same thing here: object mode, vertex, face, edge, and face. You can also click and drag and select everything. Okay, so we also have a lot of different tools here. Remember that we also have more tools here in a menu, but we conveniently have some of the more useful ones, or the ones that we're going to be using the most, right here. We also have some of the shortcuts right here. You can always go ahead and hold the mouse on top of it for a while, and it's going to tell you what it does. It's cool to familiarize yourself with these ones. Try them yourself, see how they work. But let's go ahead and look at one of the most useful ones, which is Extrude. You click, you select the face, click Extrude, you're gonna get this little window here. Basically, you give it a thickness, you can give it an offset, add divisions. We can press Q to accept that, or click somewhere else, work too. And we extruded this whole face. We added different divisions. We can also extrude by going to move, holding shift, and see how it says extrude now, and click and dragging. So that's the faster way to do it. To get this offset that we had before in that one, we can scale it down. And if we wanted to add divisions, we can always select the face, the edges that we want to connect. In this case, these four, and we can click here, this tool that's called Connect. We can add more segments, 3 for example. Press Enter, press Q. There you go. We have a very similar thing, but we did it in a different way. That's a good thing to know. When you're working with Maya, you should have multiple ways to do the same thing. It's up to you which one you find easier or more convenient. Another very useful tool is called Bevel. If we select these 2 edges, for example, we can click here in Bevel, and you can see that it makes a cut here. You can make it bigger or smaller. Keep in mind that we can make it bigger right now because these 2 edges touch each other. If we make it too big, we can make it smaller. We can add segments. Again, the more segments that we add, the rounder that we get. And we can change the depth. Another very useful tool is the bridge tool. Let me show you how it works. You can select 2 edges and press bridge tool. We're going to connect those 2 edges together. Now, if we want, we can change the color real quick by going to our attribute editor. Up here, you will see we have a Lambert. Whenever you create an object in Maya, by default, it will come with a Lambert. That's a type of material. Give it some color. Yeah, there's a lot of attributes that you can change here. Lamberts are not the most complex materials, but in a different video we'll go over the hypershade and how materials work and how to add materials to your objects. But yeah, thanks for watching.